Hey everybody. I want to talk today a little bit about what actually happens when we decide that we want to grow or expand, or as I have been calling it, level up. That's just what's been coming into my mind. It's kind of like a video game, like you finish one level and then you grow to the next level. And this is just a human thing. Like we are always growing and expanding. We're all creative, we're all growing. But what actually happens? What is the process that you might encounter where you might encounter those struggles and not be able to move forward, and then you end up beating yourself up? Beating yourself up. So I want to go into a little bit of that, and I might add a little bit of woo to this one. So we'll see. But first of all, I want to talk about what happens in your brain because once you decide, and this might be leveling up, it could be in a relationship or relationships, it could be like you decide that you want to get healthier, or you want to move up or expand in your career. Anything that's like moving you forward onto your authentic path. So once you kind of decide that and you feel that, I talk a lot about intuition, you sense that intuitively, that nudge to kind of grow. What happens is a ton of emotions and fears come at you. For me, it's like these blockages or resistance. For me, recently, I've really been feeling my intuition calling me to expand my idea as far as business and money goes. So I'm really been working on this. And what comes up? Tons of emotional and mental blocks and resistance around this topic, right? Tons of beliefs and really tough, like challenging me, challenges to fears that I've had, things that have happened, failures that have happened in the past, right? Beliefs from, maybe my gender or how I was raised, ton of things coming up. So if you have decided that you want to grow and expand and move forward, and you just cannot get past your mind where you're dealing with these fears that are coming up, feelings of not enough, all kinds of, things come up. It's so normal. I just want you to be aware. The reason for this is because this is how your mind has kept you safe, right? We've talked about that before, but for your entire life, maybe. And so it's on this neural pathway and this mental loop of this idea. But the good thing is that we can move past those. And I've talked a lot. I'll talk a lot more about how to move past those beliefs and those really deep emotions. So the next thing that kind of comes up, and I've been experiencing this, I was thinking about this with my house search. So we found out that we have to move, and all of a sudden these fears, like I said, these fears set in. But then I also started thinking about what I actually wanted, what I needed in a house, and what I could have, right? So the next thing that happens is it's kind of like a challenge for you. Well, it's actually like an expansion. So if you've ever followed Lacey Phillips' work, she runs To Be Magnetic, and she talks a lot about expanders. So from what we have been raised or what we're taught or conditioned, we can only see what we think we deserve or what we know to be true from our logical mind, true. So we need what she calls as expanders. So people who are doing the thing that we want to be doing, or for instance, this house search, we had a couple of houses that didn't work out. but they were what I would call expanders. They showed me, oh my gosh, this is possible. This is actually what I want. I saw those houses and I was like, oh, I felt it in my being. I was like, oh, this is what I want. Now I know. Now I can put it on my list of things that I want, or this is what I need. So this can come in a form of a person. So, when you actually open up to wanting to expand and wanting to grow and wanting to up level, people will come into your life who have those things. Like, say it's like a career that you're looking for, or a relationship. This happened to me with a relationship so many times. And with my husband, I had a friend who she just was in a new relationship, and I met her partner and I was like, that's what I want. And I knew just a lot of the things that I didn't know was possible before. So, like with the house, I didn't know this was possible, but now I know it's possible. So I'm going to keep that in my mind of like what I'm looking for. So I hope that makes sense. And then the last thing I want to talk about is what Lacey Phillips calls tests, but I don't love that term. I haven't figured out another term for it, but I don't love it because I grew up in a very religious setting, and they use tests to mean like God is testing you to, like, I don't know, make sure that you're like following the rules or something. But what she means is that, like, for instance, those houses, some of the houses I could settle for. I don't have a strong yes, right? I don't have a strong, oh my gosh, this is the one. Some of them I did. They didn't work out, right? So obviously there were expanders. But the tests are like, am I going to settle for this thing when I know in my heart it's not actually the right thing? I have done this so many times with relationships and with housing especially, and it's always, I don't know about you guys, but it's always turned out crappy, like really bad most of the time. So now it's really a trust thing. And maybe this is a little woo, like the universe has your back, or you have your back, right? Whatever I want you to be as woo as you want to be. Like, I'm down with the science, I'm down with it, but I know what I've experienced in my life so many times. So these like little tests of are you going to give in and settle, or are you going to believe that, have the self-confidence and believe that you are worth the thing that feels right. And if you think about the things that have felt right and how they worked out for you, come on, you're not fooling anybody. It's just your mind that worries, right? It worries about, I'm telling you, we only have like 2 months to find a house. It's really stressful. So I could totally settle, but I'm not going to, because I know that every time I've done that, it hasn't worked out. And every time I've not settled, it has worked out incredibly. So I just wanted to share this video because I want you to know that if you are experiencing any of these things, emotions or fears that are coming up, or those thoughts that you cannot get rid of, if you're experiencing expansion, like jealousy or frustration of like having something not work out, maybe like it felt like it was the right thing but it didn't work out, that's an expander for you. It's just showing you what you are capable of or what is available to you. And then 3 tests of are you going to settle? Are you going to settle? So I have found these things in my life so true. I just want to like comfort you, especially right now with everything that's going on. I think we're all being asked to up level, all of us. So whatever that is for you, go for it. And I want to be here to help you. So I've been so amazed at like working with my clients, how we've been able to kind of help them up level. And so check out my website or the link in my bio for more information on my one-on-one sessions.